Moreover, people were absolutely furious about Amber Heard's former assistant, Kate James, exposed Amber Heard for stealing her sexual assault story. For so many women struggling from abuse, it was difficult to hear about. That's true that Amber really lied about the fact that Johnny abused her, and the whole world was shocked after Kate James, Amber Heard's former personal assistant, alleged that Heard had appropriated the story of being a sexual violence survivor, giving evidence at London's Royal Courts of Justice on the 7th day of Johnny Depp's libel trial against the publisher of The Sun newspaper. Judge stops Heard cold, shutting down her desperate claim. However, the fact that Kate exposed Amber is really good for Johnny, as now he is suing News Group newspapers and journalist Dan Wooton for an article on the Sun website that described him as a wife-beater. Depp denies that he was violent towards Heard, to whom he was married from 2015 to 2017. Kate gave evidence in support of Depp and said she had told Heard that she was raped at Machete Point in Brazil about 25 years ago. She said she was shocked to learn that in a witness statement, Heard misrepresented and exploited the incident. She referred directly to a violent rape that occurred to me 26 years ago, and she twisted it into her own story and she used it for her own use, Kate James said by video link from Los Angeles. I am a sexual violence survivor, and that's very, very serious to take that stance if you are not one, she said. When Kate read Amber Heard's submissions, she said, "To my utter shock and dismay, I discovered that Miss Heard had in fact stolen my sexual violence conversation with her and twisted it into her own story to benefit herself. This of course caused me extreme distress and outrage that she would dare to attempt to use the most harrowing experience of my life as her own narrative." Heard lost the appeal to dismiss Johnny Depp's $50 million defamation lawsuit, and we learned that the Aquaman star could be facing up to 3 years of jail time if found guilty of manipulating evidence against her then-husband. But even beyond the former couple's seemingly never-ending legal battle, Heard has come under a lot of fire after evidence presented to the court as part of the lawsuit revealed that she's physically and emotionally harassed Depp while twisting the narrative in her favor and painting the Pirates of the Caribbean actor as a domestic abuser. In fact, the petition to remove her from Aquaman 2 recently reached a whopping 400,000 signatures and is on its way to passing the 500,000 threshold. This is essentially the same kind of backlash and blacklisting that Depp had to endure a couple of years ago. So you can see why fans of the legendary star are asking for justice with such fervency. And now, according to a report by Cosmic Book News, Warner Bros. has gone forward with firing Heard from Aquaman 2 by buying out her contract. Also, there was one more petition against Amber Heard. A liar and an abuser, a shame for women, begins one of the two Change.org campaigns to remove Amber Heard, 33, from her role as global spokesperson for cosmetics brand L'Oreal. And yet, she has claimed in her court declaration countering ex-husband's $50 million defamation suit against her that her career took a serious hit and she received death threats that forced her to constantly keep on changing her contact details. Referring to Amber Heard's drinking habits, James said in a witness statement, Amber would drink vast quantities of red wine each night. Plus, in evidence given remotely from Los Angeles, Kate James also said she had regularly received a barrage of drunken, abusive, and incoherent text messages from Heard between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. In her declaration, James outlines how she spent large amounts of time with Heard during her employment, sometimes up to 7 days a week, often in intimate settings. That is significant, she says, because many of Heard's allegations of physical abuse date to that time period, and she never saw any evidence of it. Instead, she claims to have seen ample evidence of Heard's own abusive behavior, which was often directed at her. Kate James, Amber Heard's former personal assistant, alleged that Heard had appropriated her story of being a sexual violence survivor, giving evidence at London's Royal Courts of Justice on the 7th day of Johnny Depp's libel trial against the publisher of The Sun newspaper. Depp is suing News Group newspapers and journalist Dan Wooton for an article on the Sun website that described him as a wife-beater. Depp denies that he was violent towards Heard, to whom he was married from 2015 to 2017. James, who was Heard's personal assistant from 2012 and 2015, was giving her evidence by video link from Los Angeles. Defense attorney Sasha Wass asked if James had been influenced by Mr. Depp and his associates who have encouraged you to give this vicious evidence against Heard. Absolutely not, James said. She added, "I'm here for my own reasons. I'm a sexual violence survivor, and that's very, very serious to take that stance if you are not one and I am one. That's the reason I'm here, because I take offense." Depp's attorney, David Sherborne, asked her, "Can you explain why you take exception to Miss Heard's allegations against Depp?" James replied, "Because Miss Heard referred to a conversation we had about me being violently raped at Machete Point in Brazil, and she used it as her own story. She referred directly to a violent rape that occurred to me 26 years ago, and she twisted it into her own story and she used it for her own use." Johnny Depp releases new evidence against Amber Heard. The last few years have been nothing if not turbulent for Johnny Depp. Ever since 2017, he has been engaged in a series of court battles against both his ex-wife Amber Heard as well as a newspaper in the form of The Sun. Amber Heard furious at Johnny Depp for releasing new evidence. The reason for these court battles is that Amber Heard, the newspaper The Sun, picked up that story and put a scandalous headline on its front page as a result. Johnny has been waging war and taking hits ever since, but now a potential redo might be in order. Allow us to break it down for you. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And there you have it, everyone, a look at the case that is going on with Johnny Depp and how he intends to use Amber Heard's proven lies to go and clear his name and get justice for himself. Do you think that this tactic to get a retrial will work, or will the judge rule against him and set him back even further in trying to prove his innocence? Amber Heard was extremely successful after divorcing Johnny Depp. She got cast in the biggest movie franchise of her career, DC's Aquaman, became the spokesperson of cosmetics giant L'Oréal Paris, as well as American Civil Liberties Union ambassador for women's rights with a focus on gender-based violence. So many people even claim they have never heard about Amber until this infamous divorce. Had no idea who she was until that divorce. I didn't even know that it was her who played Mara, one fan said. However, the tables have turned and now Amber Heard is finding that her career as an A-list Hollywood actress might be over. She has reportedly been kicked from Aquaman 2 and she is about to lose the contract with L'Oréal Paris. So what was the reason for all of these problematic events for Amber Heard? Apparently, her well-planned strategy to ruin Johnny Depp's life have been shattered. And now, no one believes that Amber Heard is an innocent victim as Johnny showed in court undeniable evidence of Amber being an abuser. Audio, text messages, and so on.